What's up, guys? Here we are again, another week reviewing The Mandalorian. We had chapter 10 today, called The Passenger. And again, not sure what to expect in this one, if it wasn't going to pick up right where the next one went off. Was it going to try to move in the future? Maybe he was on a different planet, but as we see, they pick up pretty much right where he left off, where he's still got the dried goo on him from the crate dragon, and he's looking around. He goes back to, I forget their name, the lady that runs the mechanic shop for the ships and helps him out. He's still trying to find other Mandalorians because now he's lost his lead. He doesn't know where these Mandalorians are. So she's just at one of the cantinas, it looks like, and she knows somebody that knows a Mando, but he has to do a favor for him. He has to take this passenger to where her destination, and then that's going to be where the Mandalorians are, and it ends up becoming this thing. I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do. I'm watching the episode, and the first half of this episode, maybe even longer, I'm just like, where is this going? There has to be something with this passenger. What is all this for, right? But obviously we get to know that the passenger really just wants to get her eggs with her husband, so that they can breed and keep their race alive, which is a cause that anyone would like to help her out with. But the problem is, Mando is somebody that's wanted, by a lot of different people, and she can't have the ship going in hyperdrive, and probably not the best company for her in terms of what she's trying to do, but he's willing to do it just because, he needs to find those Mandalorians. And a lot of funny things happen in this episode with me and the child. I really like his looks that he makes. Sometimes he makes real intense looks, and I really like that. But obviously here he was very interested in the eggs, and he he kept eating her eggs, and I don't know if she ever found out, but it was just funny to see that. And we see that later on in the episode why they showed him doing that, why they showed Baby Yoda just being so just careless, and that he would eat anything. We saw that a little in season 1, but in this episode we see they get the best of him. Now we're going to kind of talk about what I have really been enjoying about The Mandalorian. I think it's probably the number one thing that we can take away from the season we've got so far and last season, is just how we get to see, and I even brought this up in last week's review, but just getting to see all these different stories that we would never get to see on screen. So all these different creatures, all these different planets, all these things that we knew were out there in the Star Wars universe, but the stories are too small for the movies. They would do this kind of stuff in Rebels and Clone Wars, but again, it's not quite live action. I mean, what we got to see, those little spider critters, whatever you want to call them, they're like a combination of, those big ass spiders we see in Jedi Fallen Order that Cal has to fight, and that creature we see on Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan and Anakin and Padme are all on like a gladiator thing, and one of those creatures, like a combination, but just something you just would never see. You see all these little spiders hatching out of eggs, and some bigger spiders and the big ass one, like just wow. And I didn't know how they were going to get out. I thought they were pretty screwed there, especially as the critters start to come into the Razor Crest. Oh, I mean, they pulled it out somehow. Mando using the flamethrower, shooting. They all had their guns shooting out, but it wasn't until, obviously, you guys saw the episode, the Rebels, or the New Republic, I should say, that actually were the reason why Mando crash landed the Razor Crest, because they were after him. Like I said, he's a wanted man, but they're the ones that helped him out at the end of the day. They said they went back and saw footage of him when he, I want to say it was chapter 6 in season 1, where we see Bill Blur and they're on that kind of mission to free the prisoner, either 5 or 6. I actually really like that episode. But they see the surveillance, and they see that Mando was actually, not, he actually put some people in jail that were wanted, and then he also tried to spare one of the guys that was going to help him out. So his good deeds coming around to help him. I think we're seeing a lot of that, things coming full circle. His good deeds coming around to help him. Some of the people he's met in the past that he showed good favor to, they're giving him favors, now. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of payoff with the child, where we see him just, like we saw in this episode, we see his curiosity and just being a child and wanting to put things in his mouth and get into stuff like that, getting them in trouble. There's a lot of people that think that all the violence and the things that Baby Yoda has seen is going to be bad for the child. Maybe when he starts to really get in tone with his Force abilities, maybe he'll be more inclined to use the dark side because of things that he's seen. So I like that they're doing that. We're seeing Baby Yoda grow and learn lessons, and same with the Mandalorian. So that's all been good. One thing, and this is not a complaint, but with a show like this, especially because it's Star Wars, you know, when they give you, they show you something, right? They show you something like Boba, and it's something that you really want to see built upon. You just don't know when it's going to be built upon, because sometimes The Mandalorian will do an episode where it kind of just bleeds right into the next one. So, and I guess that's kind of what they did here, where it's pretty much picking up where the next one left off, but we don't get anything, you know, regarding, you know, Boba, which is fine. That can be later on. I'm not necessarily saying we need to get that kind of stuff. But it is just a different, you just don't know where the story is going to be going. Like next episode, I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just I have to get adjusted to that. I don't think, you know, we can't really predict the next episode. We can predict what we think is going to happen in certain story elements, but it seems like episode to episode, you know, who knows what planet he's going to be, what kind of mission it's going to be, and stuff like that. Again, it's all good. It just, I was hoping that we would have gotten a little bit more, I don't know, something going, but again, that's just the show. No real complaints, but good episode. I did like the last one a little better. You know, hopefully they get back. He gets the frog where they need to be. The Razor Crest is in pretty tough shape right now, so I don't know if the Razor Crest is going to make it past this season. I think that's what this episode was about. Like, whatever's going to happen, they need the Razor Crest to be gone and effective, whatever. So, definitely let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Not too much, you know, to get into other than what I've said. Again, just some development, some things that the child learned, Mando, and just some cool stuff we get to see where with the New Republic and some new critters. Just like I said, just a story that, you know, I was happy that we got to see. But let me know what you guys thought, and I'll be with you guys next week with another episode. All right.